Stop apologizing. The leadership power of owning your space. Let's talk about something many capable people do without even realizing it. They apologize too much. Not because something is wrong, but because they've been conditioned to soften their presence. You hear it in everyday language. Sorry to bother you. Sorry, just a quick thought. Sorry, this may not make sense. Sorry for asking. None of these statements requires an apology, and yet people say them constantly. Over time, unnecessary apologies begin to diminish confidence, weakens communication, and subtly shift how others perceive authority. An apology should mean something. When it's used too often, it loses its value. A good way to open the conversation is asking, how often do we need to apologize when we've done nothing wrong? When an apology is appropriate. Let's be clear. Apologies matter. They are important when we have actually caused harm, made a mistake, or needed to repair trust. A sincere apology can restore relationships, demonstrate accountability, show emotional maturity, rebuild credibility. But apologizing simply for speaking, asking questions, sharing ideas, or existing in a space is something entirely different. That's not accountability. That's conditioning. Characteristics of habitual apologizing. People who over-apologize often don't realize they're doing it. It becomes an automatic response to social pressure, discomfort, or self-doubt. Some common characteristics include apologizing before speaking or sharing an opinion, apologizing when asking for help or clarification, apologizing for minor delays or normal circumstances, softening statements with unnecessary apologies, seeking permission rather than asserting ideas, feeling responsible for someone else's reactions. In many cases, over-apologizing is connected to a desire to avoid conflict, rejection, or judgment. It becomes a way of minimizing oneself in order to maintain harmony. Warning signs: you may be apologizing too much. You may notice certain patterns if unnecessary apologizing has become a habit. For example, you apologize even when nothing went wrong. You apologize for expressing an opinion. You feel the need to soften every statement. You apologize before asking a question. People frequently tell you, you don't need to apologize. You worry about being perceived as difficult or demanding. When apologizing becomes automatic, it slowly reshapes how people see you and how you see yourself. Over time, it can communicate uncertainty instead of confidence. The leadership impact. In leadership environments, excessive apologizing can weaken communication. Leaders who constantly apologize for speaking or making decisions may unintentionally signal hesitation or lack of authority. Leadership requires clarity and presence. You don't have to dominate the room to lead effectively, but you do need to own your voice and your space. One thing I often remind people is this: confidence is not arrogance, it's clarity. And clarity does not require an apology. The simple shift that changes everything. One of the most effective things people can do is replace unnecessary apologies with appreciation or direct communication. For example, instead of saying, "Sorry for the delay," say, "Thank you for your patience." Instead of, "Sorry to bother you," say, "Do you have a moment?" Instead of, "Sorry, this might be wrong," say, "Here's another perspective." Small shifts like these can strengthen your presence without sounding defensive or uncertain. Protecting your confidence and communication. If over-apologizing has become a habit, the goal isn't perfection, it's awareness. Here's a few things to begin changing the pattern. Notice when you apologize automatically. Pay attention to the moments you say sorry out of habit rather than necessity. Awareness is the first step towards change. Pause before responding. Before apologizing, ask yourself one simple question: did I actually do something that requires an apology? If the answer is no, there's no need to say it. Replace apology with clarity. Speak directly. Clarity strengthens communication and prevents misunderstandings. Practice owning your voice. Your ideas, questions, and contributions have value. You do not need to apologize for participating, leading, or offering perspective. A real-world example. I once worked with a professional who apologized in almost every meeting. She apologized for asking questions, offering suggestions, even speaking up when she was the subject matter expert in the room. Once she became aware of the pattern and began replacing apologies with direct statements, something interesting happened. People started listening differently. Her ideas didn't change, her delivery did. And that changed how others perceived her authority. Closing reflection. Apologies are powerful when they are sincere and necessary. But when they are used out of habit, insecurity, or conditioning, they weaken communication and confidence. You do not have to apologize for having a voice, asking questions, sharing ideas, taking up space, or leading. Because the truth is this: respect grows when people see you respect your own voice. A powerful question to reflect on is, what would change in my communication if you stopped apologizing for things that don't require an apology?